The friendship of dove and ant. In a calm corner of the forest, where a gentle stream flowed and flowers bloomed in every color, lived a white dove named Dina. Dina was kind and caring and always ready to help others. She flew through the sky with grace, dropping seeds for birds and singing sweet songs for the little ones. Nearby, under a tree near the stream, lived a tiny ant named Amy. Amy was small, so small that many animals didn't even notice her. But her heart was big and brave. Every day, Amy would collect food for her ant family and carefully build their home under the roots of an old banyan tree. Though they were difficult in size and difficult ways, Dina and Amy had something special in common. That was kindness. One sunny morning, Dina flew down to the stream to drink water. As she stepped closer, she noticed something unusual. Amy had slipped and fallen into the stream. Help! Help! Amy cried, and her tiny legs splashed helplessly as the water carried her away. Dina's eyes widened. Without a second thought, she picked up a big leaf and flew over the river and dropped near Annie. Oh, climb on, Dina called. Amy grabbed the leaf and held tight. Dina gently pushed it towards the bank of the river with his beak. With one last pull, Amy was safe. She shook off the water and looked up at the dove with tear in his tiny eyes. You saved me, she whispered. Dina smiled. That's what friends are for. From that day on, Amy and Dina became best of friends. Amy would collect shiny pebbles of the seeds for Dina. Dina would bring fresh leaves and tell Amy stories from sky, from the forest filled with beautiful friendship, such different creatures, and yet such a kindness of hearts, said the squirrel, shows that love has no size. But not everyone in the forest was kind. One day, a hunter entered the jungle with a net and a long stick. He looked around the birds, hoping to catch one for himself. As Dina flew down to collect some water near the stream, the hunter quietly aimed at his stick. Amy, who was nearby gathering leaves, saw something unusual. Oh, just then she ran. She could find the hunter lifted the stick slowly, preparing it to throw. Just then, ouch! Amy found his found the stick, missed Dina and fell onto the ground. And the hunter looked out in pain and about. He couldn't see what him bite him. Confused, he walked away from the forest. Dina, safe and sound, flew back down. Amy, that was so brave. You saved my life, Dina whispered. Amy smiled, just returning your kindness. The forest animals clapped and cheered. That was true friendship, small but mighty. Kindness always finds a way back. The moral of the story is, kids, small act of kindness can create a big bond that lasts forever. The true friendship knows no size, only love and care. So kids, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.
The Fox and the Birds, a tale of wisdom and deceit. In a vibrant green forest filled with tall trees and melodious bird songs, there lived a clever fox named Rollo. Rollo was known for his cunning tricks and love for easy food. He often tricked other animals to get what he wanted. High in branches of tall trees in the forest lived a flock of birds led by wise Parrot named Mitu. Mitu was admired for his intelligence and calm nature. The bird relied on him whatever they faced problem. One sunny morning, Rollo looked up at the tree and saw the flock of birds, chirping happily as they ate ripe berries. His mouth watered. If I only could have tricked those birds into giving me their food, he thought. Rollo sat under the tree and called out, Good morning, dear birds. You look so happy up there. What a beautiful day it is. Me too, sitting on a branch, looked down slowly and politely. Good morning, Rollo. How we can help you today? Rollo grinned slyly and said, I was just admiring your lovely tree, but I must warn you, I heard a rumor that a woodcutter is coming to chop it down. You should all fly away before it's too late. The birds gasped in fear. A woodcutter? A sparrow squeaked. Me too, however, noticed the cunning smile on Rollo's face and sensed something was not right. Thank you for warning, Rollo, Mitu said calmly. But are you sure about this? We haven't seen or heard any signs of woodcutter. Rollo nodded. Oh, I'm sure. I saw him with my own eyes. If you don't believe me, it's your loss. But I suggest you should leave quickly. Maybe you could leave at your food behind for safety. Mitu realized Rollo's true intentions. He is trying to scare us away, so he had to take our food. Mitu whispered to the sparrows. Mitu decided to teach Rollo a lesson. Thank you for your concern, Rollo, Mitu said. But we are birds. We never leave our tree unguarded. Why don't you stay protect for us? If the woodcutter comes, you scare him away. Rollo hesitated. This wasn't the part of plan. Protect the tree? Me? Mitu nodded. Yes. After all, you care about us, our safety, don't you? We will reward you with some berries in return. Rollo greeted for some berries, reluctantly agreed. All right, I'll guide your tree. But thinking an easy task, the birds prevented to leave, flying a nearby tree and watching Rollo. As soon as the bird were sight out, Rollo started eating the leftover berries. But Mitu had a plan. He called a group of crows and told them to squeak loudly and circle around the tree. Maybe Rollo think the woodcutter is here. The crow began cawing loudly and flying in the circle around the tree. Rollo panicked. The woodcutters must be here, he cried. In his panic, Rollo ran away, leaving the tree and berries behind. The birds returned to their tree, laughing how quickly Rollo fell. And Mitu said, Let's call Rollo back and explain why deceited never works. Later, Rollo returned to the tree, looking embarrassed. I thought the woodcutter had came, he said sharply. Mitu replied, There was no woodcutter, Rollo. We tricked you to show how it feels to be deceived. You tried to scare us away from our food, but deceit never makes success. Rollo hung his head. I'm sorry, I was greedy and tried to trick you. I have learned my lesson. Mitu smiled kindly. Apology accepted, Rollo. Remember, honesty and kindness are far more rewarding than deceit. If you ever need food, just ask us. We are happy to share. From that day on, Rollo stopped tricking others and became a more honest and kind-hearted fox. The animals in the forest welcomed him as a friend, and he learned that wisdom and kindness were the best quality to have. The moral of the story is, kids, decide may seem like an easy path, but it always leads to trouble. Honesty and kindness bring true rewards and lasting friendship. So kids, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.
The Jungle's Missing Moon. It was a peaceful night in the jungle. The stars twinkled above, and the leaves rustled gently in the breeze. But something was wrong, terribly wrong. The moon was glowing silver. Silver moon that watched over the jungle each night was gone. No light, no shine, just deep, deep darkness. Animals woke up, blinking and confused. Where's the moon? Asked the Tico, the tiger cub. I can't see my whiskers, cried Minky the mouse. Where even Luna the wise owl, who loved to see the sky at night, looked worried. This have never happened before, she said, her feathers ruffling. The moon never disappears. Soon all the animals gathered near the big banyan tree. What shall we do? Asked the Kiara and Kokila. Maybe someone get gasped Rani and the rabbit. Who would steal the moon? Just then, clever little Chiku the squirrel had an idea. What if we go back and look out for it? Maybe it's hiding or stuck or sad. The animals agreed. A search party was formed. Luna the owl, Chiku the squirrel, Rana the rabbit, and clever Fufo fox would search in the forest and bring back the moon. Their journey began at the riverbank. They looked in the river, no moon. They asked the frogs, Rabbit, haven't seen anything, said one sadly. But the water was dark tonight. Next, then, they climbed the top of the Firefly Hill. The fireflies were glowing bright. Maybe we can help the light in the jungle, they offered kindly. Thank you, said Luna, but we must find the real moon. Then, in the deep part of the forest, where the trees stood close and shadows whispered, they saw a faint glow. Ah, Chiku cried, look! It was a round and glowing object hidden in the vines. They tied toes closer and gasped. It was the moon. But not in the sky, it was sitting on the mossy rock. Next it stood Milo the monkey. Milo had been playing beautiful, curious, and little cheeky. Milo, cried Rani, did you take the moon? Minu looked shy. I don't want to keep it for myself. It's so pretty. It always shines in everyone. I thought I could shine for me. Luna frowned gently. But Milo, the moon belongs to no one. It's a gift for all. I know, Milo whispered. But then I sat next to it. It feels like magic. Like it's almost a special animal in the world. Chiku climbed up, touched Milo's paw. You are special, Milo. We are all. That's why we share things like moon. Milo looked at them and said, will the moon shine if I let it go? I will shine even brighter, said Fufu. Milo took a deep breath and gently lifted the moon. Together, their friends carried it to the tallest hill. Luna flew high and released into the sky. The moon floated up and up and up, and then, boom. A little jungle, soft silver light, trees shimmered and rivers sparkled. All the animals cheered. The moon is back. We can see again. Thank you. The search party returned as heroes. Milo looked around and smiled. You were right. Sharing does feel better than keeping. From that night, Milo never kept things to himself. He shared his bananas, his best branch swings, and even secret love trees. Every time the moon rose, he smiled and softly said, that glow belongs to all of us. The moral of the story is, kids, some things shine bright when shared. True happiness comes from keeping, but giving and caring for others. So kids, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. The parrots painting and the greedy gecko. In the bright and leafy corner of the jungle, where butterflies danced and sunbeams tickled, the trees lived, and a cheerful parrot named Piku. Piku wasn't just any parrot, she was an artist. Every day, Piku would dip her feathers into colors, juices to make from berries, leaves, and flowers, and paint beautiful pictures on banana leaves. She painted sunsets with red hibiscus, trees and green spinach, rivers with blue butterfly peas, and even rainbows using a mix of petals. All the jungles loved animal. Piku, your painting of the moon looked just like a real one, said the owl. I love your forest scene, said the rabbit. You made my ears look so soft. One day, Piku announced something very exciting. I am making a jungle masterpiece for the Great Leafy Gallery. It will show all the animals in the jungle. Everyone clapped and chirped with a joy. Even Ganju the gecko, who was always usually didn't care about art, leaned forward. Ganju was small, shiny, and green. He liked shiny things a lot. In fact, he collected them buttons, beads, bottle caps, anything that sparkled. He thought, if Piku's painting becomes famous, it will be worth a lot. What if it becomes mine? He sheltered closer to Piku. What are you painting on it? He asked sweetly.
A big banana leaf, said Pico proudly. I will hang it by the mango tree when it's done. That night, when all the animals were asleep, Ganju take creepy through the leaves. He tiptoed and climbed and crawled until he reached Pico tree. There was the painting, still unfinished, but already beautiful. Swirls of colors, animals smiling, trees stretching tall. It was magical. Gaju's eyes sparkled. If I take this now, I will be the most famous gecko in the jungle. He carefully pulled the banana leaf down and hid it in his bureau. The next morning, Pico woke up early, and I am ready to finish her masterpiece, but it was gone. My painting, she cried, disappeared. The news spread fast. The masterpiece is missing. Who would do such thing? Gasped the deer. Everyone looked around. Days passed and Pico felt so sad to paint. I worked so hard, she said, and it was meant for everyone. Meanwhile, in his bureau, Gajju started painting, but something strange happened. He didn't feel happy, he didn't feel proud. In fact, he felt lonely. No one's clapping, no one's smiling. He tried to show it to the ants. They ran away. Gajju sighed. Maybe I made a mistake. That night, Gajju slowly crept back to the jungle. He reached Pico's tree and gently placed the painting on the base of the trunk. In the morning, Pico found it. My painting, she cried, it's back. She looked closer. Someone has fixed a tiny tear of the corner, the sticky of split. Pico smiled. I think who returned it, I know him. She called the animals and announced, the painting is ready. Let's celebrate together. All the animals gathered by a mango tree, where the masterpiece was hung proudly. When they climbed and cheered, Pico spotted Gajju hiding behind the rock, peeking out. She flew over and whispered, thank you. Gajju looked down. I just wanted something special. You already are, Pico said kindly. You just forgot a little while. From that day, Gajju spot was challenging in collecting shiny things and started collecting memories by helping others. And Piku, she painted on new leaves every week, this time with Gajju's smiling face among the jungle friends. So kids, the moral of the story is, true beauty isn't meant to be shared. Greedy makes taking things, but kindness bring it back with love. Helping others make you shine brighter than anything you can steal. So kids, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. When the forest went silent, a tale of true friendship in the middle of the bright green happy forest, where birds chirped and river giggled and the tree danced in breeze. There was always a song in the air. Every morning the forest would come alive with sounds, monkey chattering, bees buzzing, frog croaking, and the birds singing sweet melodies. But in this cheerful forest, the loudest and the happiest voice belonged to the little rabbit named Rumi. Rumi had long ears and a pink nose and a voice that floored everyone. Good morning, Mr. Owl. Hello, Daisy dear. Nice jump, Kiki the kangaroo. He greeted everyone. He made others laugh with silly songs and always had the time to help friend. But Rumi's very best friend in the whole forest was Timo the turtle. Timo didn't say much. He moved slowly, always calm and quiet. He liked sitting under the mushroom, reading self books, and listening to the river. Rumi and Tino were different, but their hearts were same. They played every day. Rumi would race around while Tino slowly made his way to the catch up. They picked berries, played hide and seek, and sometimes just sat under a tree doing nothing but being together. One day, while the forest was full of sounds and smiles, a strong wind blew through. Bush. Leaves flew, branches bent, tree swayed widely, thundered, rumbled far away. All the animals ran to the fine shelter. After the storm passed, the forest looked different, wet, muddy, and quiet. But something way worse had happened. Rumi was gone. The animals searched everywhere. Behind the trees, under the rocks, near the pond, no sign of little rabbit. Maybe he ran too far for this side of the forest, he said the parrot. Or maybe he struck in the marble bush. Then one evening, Tino did something no one expected. He stood up, packed some berries, tied a leaf stack on his shell, and said, I'm going to find Rumi. But you are too slow, Tino said. It was dangerous outside the forest, warned the owl. Tino didn't stop. He would to do the same for me, and so the turtle began a long journey for all of us. He crossed streams, he climbed hills, he walked through the thorny bushes, he slept under the stars and woke up with a hope. One day, near a small village on the forest edge, Tino heard something, a soft voice humming. Berries are red, berries are blue. I miss my forest and friends so true. Tino's eye widened. Rumi. He followed the voice and found a small garden with hidden human house, and there under the basket was a small rabbit, Rumi. Rumi, Tino cried. Rumi looked up, eyes widened. Tino, it's really you? They hugged tightly. How did you find me? I followed the silence, said Tino. The forest, miss your voice, Rumi explained. The storm swept me far. A kind girl found me and kept me safe. But I miss my home every day. The next morning, Tino waited near the garden, while Rumi trapped into a gentle window. The little girl Myra smiled and opened the basket. Want to go home, don't you? Rumi nodded. Myra picked up him gently and carried the forest edge. Goodbye, little rabbit, be happy. Just then, Rumi free. The journey was long. They reached the forest and all the animals gathered in shock and joy. Rumi is back. And then that day onwards, no matter what happened, Rumi never stopped singing. But he always made sure to sit quietly with Tino sometime under the same old tree, smiling, saying nothing, just holding the silence greatly because he understood that even a quiet friendship can speak the loudest. So, kids, today's moral of the story is true friendship isn't about noise or fun, it's about being there, especially in silence. Real friends never stop looking for each other. So, kids, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.